back to Fightheads MMA. It's me, Miss Nikki, you guys. I am here with Mr. Robert Washington. He is going to be fighting on this BKFC card tonight, BKFC 17, the inaugural card for Alabama. This is the first time we've been here to Alabama. Mr. Washington is a returned BKFC fighter. How are you feeling today?
I feel perfect that I'm talking with you, and Fightheads MMA, obviously.
Oh, thank you, baby, thank you. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and see you are always one of my best fighters to just stand there and even watch some of the other fights happen with, and let alone get to see you go in there and do what you do. So we ain't seen you in maybe, when was the last time you fought?
September.
Okay, September. I knew it had been a while. What you been doing since September?
Since September, I've been training my butt off at a new facility with Network Monsters.
Oh.
So to get prepared to come out here and do my job to the best of my ability, I'm now part of a team I train over at MMA. A whole bunch of stellar gentlemen. If I go to name the names, everybody should know Martin Smash Brown. I got a good group of individuals that are dedicated to success and being destructive in a good way.
Yep.
So,
okay.
I'm very happy and pleased with the preparation coming up to this upcoming.
You appear, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but you just appear to be slimmer going into this fight than previous fights to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I correct or?
I didn't come here to do anything but a job.
Okay.
This job is to destroy. I'll smile and do everything at the end, but I'm here to accomplish my task. So I came in under, I will be fighting under, and I will come in and I will be victorious.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So Mr. Ryan Jones is your opponent. He's newbie to our BKFC family. What do you think? Have you had a chance to speak to him or see him outside of weigh-ins?
I got a little feel for Mr. Ryan. He's a little televised in the sense of he has an image to put on for the other people, but behind closed doors, it was a real different gentleman that I dealt with than the steps on the scale. However, this is a job, so I understand people think that they have to put on an image or a facade to make themselves feel tougher. I live a little different, so I don't worry about none of that. I'm here to do a job, and Mr. Ryan, I appreciate the opportunity. But we already know what time it is, man. Get your binky ready, man. It's time to go to bed.
It's nighttime, huh?
It's that time.
So how motivated are you to go in here and get the W tonight? I know you're looking for one. You want one. You need one.
I need a W. Right now, it's very imperative for me to come out and just display my skill set and do exactly what's necessary to come out to be victorious. Since Mr. Ryan likes to run forward, I'm going to give him plenty of opportunity to run forward. Since Mr. Ryan likes to pick his head up, I'm going to give him plenty of opportunity to pick his head up. Since Mr. Ryan likes to pull and then lean forward with his neck out, I'm going to give him plenty of opportunity to do that. Okay? When Mr. Ryan throws his back hand without turning his hip, I'm going to give him plenty of opportunity in the first couple of seconds to try to figure out how to do that. Okay? The problem is, I don't believe Mr. Ryan gonna be awake to finish off that movement.
Oh,
okay?
Lord.
This is not, I didn't come here for anything other than to show my skill. That means I'm not here to be your friend once they click them doors. Once they let me in there, you're going to fight the entire time, round for round.
Do you have any advice for anybody that thinks, since you've been in that squared ring, do you have any advice for anybody coming in?
I have advice for anybody and everybody. It's real simple. Don't underestimate a person based upon what you see a record looks like. Don't underestimate a person based on their image, okay? Pay attention to what you're doing, because this is a job that is very costly. This isn't a game. This is not something you want to do on a Zoom class, okay? This is very, very serious, okay? So I take my job serious. I'm not here to play for long, but I'm here to play for a good time. We're going to have a long game.
Well, damn, Mr. Washington, you done put it out there for him. Oh, damn, you done put it out there. That's all I ask. Well, good luck tonight. We are glad to see you again. Welcome back. And just go in there and do what you came to do, and we'll just be standing on the sidelines watching. Good luck, baby.
I definitely appreciate it, and wait till this last interview after the fight.
Oh.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
FightheadsMMA, you know what time it is. Appreciate you.
Thank you, baby. I I got another young man over here. Come on over here, young man.
Yo, wow. Yo, wow. Shit on. Shit on.
We're excited. Boom! Welcome to Fight Heads MMA. It's me, Miss Nikki, in house. Look who I got today, you guys. This is my post BKFC 17 interview with Robert Washington. This young man fought on the last card. He got him a big W on the last card. He interviewed with Miss Nikki before the last card, and he did tell Miss Nikki what was about to go down in that town at the last card, and he was not lying. Welcome, Mr. Washington. How are you, baby?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself today?
Bless, baby, bless. You looking good as usual. Just looking good, Mr. Handsome over here.
I work hard at staying clean.
No, that's right. So, post-fight 17, who was your opponent on that card? Like, I don't have my information.
It's all good. His name was Ryan Jones.
Ryan Jones.
He's with a 1-0 record for BKFC. He was a game opponent. He came out prepared to do exactly what he's usually capable of doing, which is coming forward, being very aggressive, and putting hands on people. That's his game plan. You know, I understand it. I believe in it, and it does work. However, on that day of the competition, it just wasn't the day for that to take place in his favor. However, I do appreciate the opportunity. And yes, I am ecstatic about the opportunity because it gave me, I got inducted in the Hall of Fame, essentially, is what I was told directly after the fight. My fight was the cleanest fight on the card. The commentating was a little backwards, like they were saying that Ryan had threw some shots, but it was all me. When you go back and look at what was taking place, I had literally left like I came in. The only thing I had was a scratch on my face. I had no inflammation. There was nothing there. He touched me, but he literally just barely, it literally touched the outside subdermal layer of my skin. So it looks a certain way. Like everything I was told to do worked so perfectly for that particular fight that it was unbelievable. Like when you go back and look at the film, that's why I'm not understanding why BK and BKFC in general haven't put out a highlight, because I did my job, and I realized when I went back and I watched all the other fights, nobody still had punches as fast as mine. When I actually threw my punch, the punches that were detrimental, not one person on the card, even their superstars that they're doing a lot of promotional stuff for, they don't have that level of speed behind their technique and accuracy at the same time. So it was a lot of little things that made me very, very ecstatic about the opportunity. I look forward to more opportunities. But Mr. Ryan came in prepared. He did.
What was your record with BKFC going into the fight?
I technically had lost one fight against Mr. Kim Evans.
Okay.
But to be honest, I came off the couch. I literally sat on the couch, and I did like a couple laps around my house, and I wouldn't have fought this gentleman. And he was coming off of a 5-fight winning streak. So technically, I wasn't supposed to even be in there with him. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm very honest about myself and my opinion on everything. I don't have that ego thing like, oh, well, it wasn't my day. It wasn't my day at all. Okay. He came out there and he put hands on me. Okay. And he put hands on me, not in a good way, so I understand that you can't always be the hammer. Sometimes you got to be the nail, but I do feel me personally, that I was coming off the couch, literally off the couch, playing video games and eating everything that I wanted, and I just did just enough to make the weight. And that's not taking nothing from him. What I'm saying is that, you know, my skill supersedes what was shown in that first competition all the way around, is what I'm basically trying to say. It's not me trying to take nothing away from Mr. Evans. It's, you know, it's just a male ego thing. I am shooting shots for sure. I'm shooting shots, and they definitely not blanks. They're letting me know, like, I want rematches with anybody and everybody who put hands on me. It's really clear. Like, I will to fight everybody. Okay, this is a job. This is not a hobby. Okay, so I take this serious. I want bread and meat all day. I don't like lettuce sandwiches. I am not a vegan. Okay, so
Did you say lettuce sandwiches?
lettuce sandwiches? No. I'm not a vegan. Okay, I want meat sandwiches.
So you're saying that first fight, the fight before that with Mr. Evans, is that what you said his name was? Kimon Evans?
Kenmon Evans is his name.
Okay, yeah, I think I probably.
Yeah, his nickname is the King. He was the king that day. I did mess around and I said at the weigh-ins, I said, you're going to be my queen tomorrow. And I promise you that did not take place tomorrow. Okay. So one thing about keeping it 1,000 with yourself, you have to understand that you have to sell the fight, but you have to keep it real. You know, go back there, get the links on a little boo-boo and get man back up and get your game on. Get your game up, you know, it ain't nothing wrong with it, you know. So, you know, it was 1-0 with BKFC. I had lost once at BYB as well. Once again, this is two fights.
You've been on Dada's promotion too?
Yes, I was
completely. I missed that. I'm sorry, baby. You know, I usually keep up. I apologize.
Yeah,
I missed that.
I fought on Dada's promotion. Now, for his promotion, I was training at a friend's backyard thing that he had. He had set up like this little backyard area, and I was training for that there. And I can't with his kids, so the friend's kids, okay, like 6 years old, 9 years, I promise you, to get ready for that fight. And of course, I came out and I hit my opponent with a 9-strike combination, broke both of my hands literally in fingers within the first couple of seconds in the fight. Didn't even realize how bad they were until I kept punching. And then my fingers just started throbbing. But I kept punching because that's who I am. And then I just finally got tired and just stopped moving. Like literally just stopped moving. But the thing was, I got off the couch for that too. I only started training, no lie, 2 weeks till the end of the fight, till right before the fight. So the last 2 weeks before this is time to go fight, I started going to my friend's house. I didn't do anything up until that. Okay. So when people are getting victories over me, it's not because my skill is lackluster. It's because the inability to stay focused, to go into and from a facility to look for monsters to train with, to get prepared for competition. My skill set surpasses a majority of the people that I've been around. I've been around this block for a long time. So it's not a new rodeo for me. Once again, I do not take from my opponent. Okay. But as I said at the end of that interview, if it was up to me, it wouldn't have been really left up to the judges. Like it'll be one of those obvious things, like I'm destroying you, like you're all ripped up and stuff. Like they don't want you to die. And I don't want to be to physically have to beat you to death or rip your eye out in the view of the public in their entertainment. That's not what I'm here for. Like I'm not. I've got a little more humanity in me than that. You know, so I'm here to go back and forth. Yeah, but we're not trying to take home appendages with me because that's just what I want to do. Like I don't need your eye to prove that I'm better than you. You know what I mean? I know. You know. So yes, that's where I stand. But this fight right here actually surpassed both of those fights in my eyes. So that's why I don't really worry about much of anything like my past competition. Like when you go back and you watch those two performances, they were great. I just didn't finish my opponent. Okay, I didn't finish my opponent. I didn't come out on top. Okay, but then you go and you look at the performance that I just took up with Mr. Ryan, who came off of a stoppage, who had so many other fights prior to actually going into BYB or being into BKFC. Okay, so and in my record in comparison, comparison to the person who I fought in BYB, he had 46. It was like 46-12 or something like that. Like their records are they have more fights on paper than I do. So technically, I'm not.
As MMA fighters or boxers?
they have boxing fights on their record, or they have MMA fights on their record. Either way it goes, their records are substantial to mine. Like it's like 10 and something, it's 12-2 and stuff like that. My record is technically I've only have 4 pro bouts on my as a competitor, technically.
What about in your AMI? What about in the AMI world? What'd you do down there?
In the amateur world, I only have 4 amateur bouts as well. Kickboxing, 2-0 in kickboxing, 2-0 in mixed martial arts, and but I actually lost my mixed martial arts fights. I lost the amateur fights. Okay, I started the pro circuit before mixed martial arts had the law of 3 to 5 amateur bouts to go pro. Okay, I went pro back like when Charlie Chris was the governor. Like I went pro. The first wave of mixed martial arts, to be honest with you, I was in the very first. Like there's an era of the sport essentially, and I was in that very first wave of the sport. There was no, you could go pro like next week. Right. I fight once, and and that's just how it was. And if you could make it, you could make it. If not, you just didn't. Okay. And the key was my amateur bout, I chipped my opponent's sternum. So when I chipped his sternum, I couldn't find any fights in the state of Florida. Even though he won the fight, he just laid on top of me. He literally just laid on top, survived. Okay. And he went back, spit up blood, and went to the hospital, and I had never heard about him again. Okay. Now I'm looking for fights for almost a year and some change at this point. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go pro and maybe I'll find something. And then right away I found a guy named Daniel Jimenez that I ended up with fighting for the XFC at the time. I fought out of the Dallas Bull for the XFC. And I fell out of the ring head first. This was when the XFC was based out of Tampa. I fell out of the ring head first, literally head first. This is a story we never discussed. Now I fell out head first with him connected to me, so it jammed and compressed my spine and like pelvis area.
Say the name of that promotion again. Say the name of that promotion again.
XFC, the XFC, Extreme Fighting Championship.
Y'all fell out the gate, right?
No, out of the ring.
Oh, y'all was in the ring. Okay, that must have been another fight. Cause somebody said, "Oh
yeah, it was a long time ago." It was a long time ago. I have to go look up in the photo album and the date and everything. Yeah, it was in Tampa though. So that compressed my spine. So I was put on the shelf for a couple of years because I had to go through decompression surgery, chamber work. It was a lot of little things that had to take place for me to be able to get back to mixed martial arts in general. Wow. Then in that time frame, I'm getting ready for other competitions, but I continue to get little small injuries based upon my spine. So I had to stop once again and just wait for the spine to completely go through it's like a healing process with the areas as much as possible to strengthen the muscles around the spine, the lumbar. So I would be able to compete and stuff because this is all I wanted to do. So I'm getting ready for competition. I'm training jiu-jitsu. I'm traveling, doing jiu-jitsu out of Hanalto Tavares facility. And I get hit by a limousine, getting ready for a competition against now the fitness and performance coach, Phil Bam Bam Daru. We were getting ready to actually go into the cage. And so from there, my car accident, I'm not supposed to be able to compete. So these people with their records and they're happy about a win over me, they technically are getting half of me in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like they're not even getting the full version of what could be. And I'm working with monsters now that are helping develop the things that I need to get to where I need to be. So these people have no clue what kind of drive and motivation I actually have to be and do what I'm doing, you know. So everybody in front of me is going to have it's a hard uphill battle. They embarrassed me on TV twice. It's not going to happen like that too many more times in my life.
That's right. You said put a stop to this shenanigans right now. Yes. So you say in your fight with Mr. Jones, like he touched you, but it wasn't really worth, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't get you with a body shot or nothing like that in the mix before?
I actually had scratches. I actually had scratches on my face, my body scratches. No, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. So when you throw a body shot, if you close your hand and when you're pulling your hand back, you'll scratch the body. So I had scratches on my body Okay, I'm not playing. I'm not no BS. Not disrespectful. Not trying to be disrespectful, man.
Right.
Because I respect dude to the fullest. You know what I mean? But it's because it might have been because I was moving a certain way or the way that he was moving or whatever. But it was. I got scratches here. I had a scratch on the side of my nose on my right side, I believe it was. That's it. The rest of the blood was all his except for my right knuckle right here. The rest of the blood was all his. That's why at the end I did my little lick the face, rub myself, and look like I'm. This is. I came in here like this. Like I came in here like this. Like it's not me trying to be arrogant, but it's me being like my skill. Like this was what a fight was really. It's not. It's humbling. You know what I mean? Like when you have that type of skill to do that, regardless of the referee stopping it or not, it was going that way. It was going that way. It was going that way.
Was there, what did you catch him with that opened him up?
It was in the first exchange. It was literally a 2. So I run in, I feint, and I go boom, boom. As soon as I do this right here, the one that touches him right on the face, as soon as it touches him, I throw the hook. I do the pump, and I throw the hook. The hook forces the rest of the flesh open at the bottom. Like, so I see it rip. There is no blood that's coming out of it. Okay, it's just a clean wound. So I feint, fake. I know he's got to move. Okay, he's got to move because he's just been touched and it was a hard shot because I watched his hands do like this, like his fingers went from like this to stiff like this. They don't just do this for no reason. Now, this is not a thing professionals do. We don't do this. Okay. Not in the middle of we're not trying to think about nothing. Okay, so this is not how that really works. Okay, that's once again nothing against my man, you know what I'm saying, but I know what this means. Okay, like it's a tell of what's about to take place if I drill again, so I could actually take my time and pick where I want to be if I want to go in or not. You know, I got like this is a skill that's developed over working for so long at a skill to perfect it. So I know what the notion is. All I have to do now is move out to the outside, and you'll see me circle out. I go, feint like I'm gonna come forward. I feint like I'm gonna come forward again, and then I circle out. And the reason why I circle out is because now once your adrenaline to pick up, you're gonna bleed. Now the blood is gonna start to pour out of the eye. As the blood starts to pour, he does just like this.
Oh.
Everybody sees what I've already seen. Now it's time to go back to work. Now it's time to go back to work. Now it's time to go back to work because now I don't have to. It's not me just identifying my work. You see it too.
Right.
The public sees it. This is not me going over record or anything. I could have literally had this conversation the same day, the same way, just like this, because I am focused.
Well, shoot, we've seen each other. I can attest to what you're saying. I mean, I was standing right there watching the fight, so.
You know, like it was real fast. So a lot of people were asking me what happened. Ryan even asked me what I hit him with. What was it? And you see him on camera asking the referee, where am I cut at? First of all, you should, as a competitor, you should already, you got popped where? So they're a little lethargic already in the middle of this. Like if you hit me in my face, as soon as I feel that warm spot with that sting from the sweat hitting it, I know something open. I know something open. I don't even have to touch it. It's open.
Yeah.
It's open. Yep. I don't have to touch it. I'm not rubbing it either. I don't care. I'm still awake. I'm still awake. I can still put forth the effort.
Well, yeah, Robert. Here he comes. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
I thought it was a terrorist attack. I'm sorry. I was getting ready to run. I got the bomb shelter and everything. Like I'm gone. Like I was out. Okay?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you was just about to go somewhere, huh?
It might be like this here at times, but I know when it's time to run. Okay, I'm a very smart man. All right, blackouts are not good.
So something happened for you. Something really clicked for you in between your loss at BKFC. You had your loss at BYB, then your loss at BKFC. Something happened after that fight that clicked for you that said, Robert, this ain't even what we do. This is not even why we're here. We got to get this together. And so you started getting it together. And we could
Yeah.
see the remnants of that in this last fight at BKFC 17. Am I on the right track here?
You're definitely on the right track. It's a level of focus. Like when you know that you want something and it's obtainable. It's something that you can grasp. Like, and all you have to do is just focus 2 steps to get to where you want to be. It's not really that far, you know. It's far for most, but it's really not that far. I have the licenses. I have everything that I need to go where I want to be. I'm okay. I eat okay. I'm all right. I just want to do this to show somebody else. No, I want to do this to show me. And to do that, I want to do it the right way. You know what I mean? My legacy is not to be the guy that you call, oh, we just need to pad this guy over here. Oh, no, man, you ain't going to use me like that because you think I need $5. First and foremost, I don't really need your $5. You know what I mean? My glasses cost $2,000. So, like, I don't really need your money. What I need is a legacy. And to build a legacy, or to have people understand and respect my background, or to hear where I come from, and ever get half my story out, I have to get victory after victory and make hit a little bit of salt here, a little bit of salt there. I was in Dozier. I came from Dozier. Ain't many people came from that boys' home and survived that, okay? And they're actually able to function the way that I'm functioning, okay? There's a lot of little parts of me that the world doesn't get, they don't know yet. So once I release piece by piece, people become more interested beyond my competitive nature. And you understand more of, oh, this is why this individual is like this. This is why he's trying so hard. His drive is like this. Not only did he went from a 4% chance walking, first and foremost, he comes from a background where he's not even supposed to be able to do any of this, okay, at all. Like, my life did not have this in the future cards at all, okay? So to make those strides for success at just being able to throw punches, it's a lot. That level of focus is still a lot. People need to understand this about competitors, because we all have a past to make the present possible. Okay, so it's that viewpoint. So to get that out, I gotta be victorious, and to be victorious, I just gotta go out there like this, swagalicious, man, happy as all get up, man, because I'm happy to fight you, bro. You know, I'm happy that the paycheck is coming, cuzzo. I'm happy that the possibility of you beating me up is there, okay? Because that means I actually gotta work here for that 15 minutes or 12 minutes, 6 minutes, you know? So now it makes me feel like when I go back and I look at my record, it's not, I went in a laid down situation. He actually tried to fight me. Look at him. Look at him. He looks so cute. You know, this is what I want, okay? Because this is how monstrous I really am. And I'm looking at even the people, like I'm like it's gonna get worse and worse. And I'm gonna be sitting doing the same thing the next interview, like, and I'm gonna do this over and over to people. It don't matter who it is. Like it's gonna be back to back to back, and we'll have this interview and be like, oh, you said it. I tried to tell you. I don't care who they putting down.
You just did it with me, because I just said we interviewed pre-fight last card. You told me what was going to happen. And you went in there and just did what you said you came to do. It wasn't even no question. So, you know, and I didn't think when you said it to me, like, I didn't think any less of Mr. Ryan. I just knew that your motivation was somewhere that I don't think I had gauged it at the last couple of times that we met. You know what I'm saying? So I knew your motivation was off the chain this time. The look, the energy that I got from you standing in front of you, talking to you, and your calmness, which you always have that calmness, but it was just so settled in. And I was like, yeah, somebody gonna be in trouble tonight. We're gonna see what happens. And I was standing there, I got to see what happened. But then after you guys dusted it up and the fight got stopped, it was a doctor stoppage, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
So no matter what nobody said about the stoppages, they happen. So at this point,
this was like the rip came all the way down here. So if your eye will pop out, you know what I mean? Like once the casing, like once this part rips here, right? The top part of the eye here, once this rips, any of this rips, the top part of the eye itself, the actual white, the cornea and all that stuff becomes vulnerable to attack. Any piece of my knuckle could cause permanent blindness.
Okay.
permanent blindness. So once this is ripped at the top here, this whole flap will just open up. It'll literally just flop down. So I could be punching and this will come down at the same time as my punch comes down, right? And my knuckle will just graze across the eye. He'll be blind forever out of that eye because of that decision. So the judge and the referee are there to make decisions that we as competitors like, oh, I can keep going. First and foremost,
you're saying if it had been reversed and you had the same, he gave you the same cut you gave him, you would understand and you're all right with that stoppage.
Yeah, look, let me go get my stuff fixed, man. Okay. Look here, man. Look, I got no problem. Like this is a competition. Once again, like I stated in my other interviews, okay? If it was a street fight application, we gonna go and just go and go, okay? Because there's something way more involved than this paycheck, okay? So that's a different situation. In the cage or ring, octagon, trigon, any of these areas, okay? My job is to compete, okay? Mm-hmm. If I'm unable to compete after the competition, what use am I as a competitor?
True that.
I'm my own entity. I am my own I'm the workhorse, essentially. I cover all of everything. If I'm down, how do I eat? So True. I need to make decisions that don't hinder all forms of revenue based upon livelihood. Like it's just the way business and life works. You have to be willing to adjust that. No, I'm not going to quit because you done crack my face open. You could break my face. I'm still going to fight you until the referee stops. Okay, this is just the way that I am. As long as I'm standing up, like I'm functioning, I'm coming, bro. Like I'm gonna try to fight. It's just
that's what I see in all of you guys. You know, like if you're still standing, you're still coming, or you're still trying to get out of the way of the next punch and set up your own next punch. So I get it. So what was it like? Okay, did they take him out of the ring before they raised your hand? Or announce the winner?
Yes, because they want to fix him up immediately.
Okay.
Like, dude, it was bad. Like when I went to the back, you know, like this is a job. But when you look at your opponent, you're like, damn, man, I'm sorry about that, bro. You know you did your job. Understand, you know you did your job, but that's the outcome of doing your work. You know what I mean? The next day I was sitting downstairs, not nonchalantly, not paying any attention, man. He walked down, man. I was actually going to offer to buy him a drink, man, whatever the case may be, the whole nine, right? But his whole side of his face was covered, it was closed. Okay? So
yeah. That's how y'all look the next day. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm definitely not going to, because I know you woke up mad as hell at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to come out and try to talk to you or nothing. I'm going to leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to come near you or none of that, because I understand that yesterday was competition. Today is like, I want to shoot you. So right. I'm not going to mess with you. We'll talk some other time. I feel how people are, because it's the real people. We're human beings, man. So we wake up the next day like, man, you know what? Not only did he beat me, but he beat me, and my cousin seen me, and my auntie said, I wish he would come near me today. I'm just going to pop him. He ain't got no chance of getting no referee today. Like, so people think like that, you know? So me personally, I still win, okay? I have no desire to talk to you the next day at all. We ain't talking, okay? But the day of the fight, I want to adjust everything, because now I know we have the same level of respect for each other still, because it's fresh. Everything is fresh. So you can't like wake up and be like, oh, it's a fluke. No, it really happened today. It really happened this way today. So now we're going to be humble and we're going to talk to people. Just like when we go train jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. This is the best part about jiu-jitsu. All monsters become tamed doing something where they're going to find another monster. This is the way it could be. It's the way it works. Steel sharpens steel, but first you have to become metal to get so you have to be something to be developed into. And I appreciate the guy, man. Like, I don't like talking too bad about it, but you know, he was jacked up, man. Like Ryan was jacked. Like the next day he was bad. And then to get an inbox saying asking to refight me, I thought that was the most like you didn't believe the first time. Like certain things that I take as disrespect.
Because maybe in his mind, he feels like the fight was going to turn in his direction, and if he hadn't got the cut, which is part of what y'all do, he might have been able to turn it around. I mean, just like you said earlier in this interview, that you want to run back them losses that you got before, because you want to be able to prove that that's not who we should have been seeing. This is who we should have been seeing.
Yes.
So how can you blame him?
Yes, I can't blame him in that sense, but I would never go in my opponent's inboxes. Like once, like I'm not gonna go. I won't, and it's a certain level. Like I understand his ploy. Trust me, I got the burning desire to go knock on my boy door. Like, look, bro, we gonna run this back. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Like I got my click, we got your. Let's just run it back, bro. Like let's go out here and do this. Like each one of them, no lie, this is who I am. Like I got money. We could pay for the spot and all that. Like I feel like this, okay? But I'm not doing that because this is a business, right? This is what we do. We have to be willing to take the loss, get up and get up.
So what was wrong with him getting in the DMs with you and say, let's run this back? What was wrong with that?
Because I just, man, listen, I don't do that. I ain't gonna lie to you, Miss Nikki.
You would rather him have gotten on social media and just called you all the way out?
No, because I knew he was gonna call me out anyways. Like they say doing this crap now. Like I don't get it. Like I once it's over, bro. Like you got, like listen, like I'm one of those people like this. I got a right to call everybody else out. Right now, you got a right to call the ambulance, ice packs, and everything else. You shouldn't be calling me, messaging me, inboxing me, talking about some we want to fight, bro. You need to be fighting your sleep so you can heal up. Don't fight me, fight the sleep. Okay, this is what I'm asking you to do. Okay, like don't. I have people inboxing me from BYB talking about, I would love the competition, bro. You just lost a fight against a monster, and now you want to fight another monster. So then you have 2 losses in a row. Go find something that's gonna give you the opportunity. This is a business for me, bro. So I'm trying to go up the ladder. These people want you to keep fighting them over and over and over again. I know Mr. Evans like, man, I ain't fighting that dude again right now, and I don't blame him. Okay, because it might be more money for him in his eyes, but if he goes for a title, he makes more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's important for him to always think financial growth. It's important for me to think the same thing. We're not in this to be punching bags. We're in this to make a little change, make a little legacy for ourselves, and go on about our business. The majority of us will be at 7-Eleven in the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So like.